Connolly once again. Another nice service. Keohane will go all the way across. This for Wang. Wang into the block. Blocked down by a combination of Sam Willinger and Parker Gray. And he is excited. Emerson take their first lead.
Yeah, Parker Gray has been really strong on defense for the Lions, posting 10 total blocks this season so far. It's important to note that this is only the Lions' 7th game.
Wang will get another shot. That one too hard. And Emerson have opened up a 2-point lead on consecutive errors from Ray Wang. Service from Connolly up again. And that too far. Service error on Connolly. That point's going to go to Nichols. And Leon Chen will check in for Connolly. Service is up, and they call it inbounds. A service ace there from Kevin Keohane, the senior setter out of Jefferson, New Jersey. Evens this one up at 5.
Yeah, Kevin Keohane is a very important team player here for Nichols. He has 194 assists on the season, 23 digs, and 8 blocks. So he's certainly a key player for Nichols.
Ragas tries to save it, but it floats over. And they're going to say he reached over the net, over and back. Point's going to go to Emerson, actually. They say still some confusion with the scoreboard here as the service is up. Willinger handles. Goes all the way across. This for Duress. Through the block, handled by Chavez. Keohane sets it up. It's Ray Wang. Floats it over. Duress was there. Ragas. He'll go in the middle. This for Parker Gray, who floats it over some blockers. And Parker Gray gets another shot from the outside. Great rally here as the Bisons are staying in it, and that from Wang is too far. Another point to Emerson. They lead 7-5.
There was a really strong presence on the net there for the Lions, which helped them have a lot of success. There was a lot of pressure on Nichols from Sam Willinger and Parker Gray. They're looking like they're a really strong combination up in front of the net.
Correction to the score. The point before that rally went to Nichols and not to the Lions, so we're even at 6. Service to Sam Willinger. First service is up from Willinger. Chavez handles it. It's going to go all the way across and floated back across the net. A smart play there from Lance Law gives Nichols the lead.
Yeah, Nichols is a very smart team. That was actually something I noticed during warm-ups. They really know the difference between when they kind of just need to gently float it over versus when they really want to spike it over. And as we just saw there, they knew just to tap it over there to get the easy point.
Ray Wang with a powerful serve that goes off the ceiling, off the side wall, and an ace there, as unable to handle it was Sam Willinger. Wang's got a lot of power, a 6'4" outside hitter out of Chengdu, China, went to Norwich Free Academy, and he has proved himself this season. That one handled by Willinger, but again into the wall. And head coach Ben Reed calls for a timeout as his team is unable to handle these powerful services coming from Ray Wang. Emerson down 9-6. What do you think they need to do to change the flow of this game and get themselves back into it?
I think they just need to stay composed right now. It's still early on, but as we were seeing from Ray Wang there, we were seeing a lot of his athleticism. He's jumping up extremely high, hitting the ball down so hard that Sam Willinger can't even control it. So we just need the Lions to see them stay composed, work as a team, and get back on track and in the right mindset to stay in this game.
That was 2 straight aces from Ray Wang, who is still hitting at negative 40%, but has got 3 points for his team, who lead by that same margin.
Yeah, these teams actually met earlier this season as well. It was their first game, both of them, on January 23rd. However, Nichols did beat Emerson 3-0. So it's really exciting to see these two teams back together again, as you know, they might have still been working out some kinks in the first game. So it'll be really interesting to see how the teams have developed since their first meeting.
And as this timeout runs down, Ray Wang will be back to serve again. Emerson hopefully with a plan to stop it. And that's handled by Duress, but again, towards that wall. A lot of spin on the handle there. And a third straight error puts Nichols up by 4. See the pure power and the swerve on it. That ball curved to the right of Duress. He handles that one. Rockets has it, and Gray goes into the net. Still no point here. Emerson with no answer to these services.
Yeah, we're really seeing how strong Ray Wang is on these serves. He has 22 service aces on the season, and he's certainly adding to that tally right now.
That one floated short, handled by Gray. Rogas goes in the middle. That's for Gray. And Gray with some power gets Emerson out of that rut and gets up a little momentum.
Yeah, again, Parker Gray had a double-double last game, so he certainly is a strong player for this Lions team, and he definitely is showing that on that last point there.
Leading recruit on the freshman class out of Los Angeles, California. Set service from Duress goes awry, and Nichols retain a 5-point lead. Libero Chavez checks back out, and checking in is Andre Foster. On the service for the Bison will be Sean Jackson. Handled by Elliott. Rogas in the middle. That's for Gray again. Gray on a knee there was Bosco. It'll be floated over. Handled easily by Parker Gray. Rogas goes quick on the dive there. And the Bison stay in this one. A big hit from Wang, and unable to react was Leon Chen. Nichols up by 6, 13-7 on a good rally that was taken over by Ray Wang.
And we see right here the strength of Ray Wang. The service in was very strong, and Leon Chen was unfortunately unable to get a dig there.
Checking in and taking this service is number 1, Matthew Zawistowski. It's handled by Willinger. Rogas goes in the middle. This for Gray. Off the block, handled by Wang. It's put up in the middle from Bosco. And into the arms of Chen on the kill. Parker Gray goes quick, but right at Bosco. And we're still in this one. Wang to the side, handled by Willinger. Duress will keep it in the middle. And this one will be free-balled over by Josh Elliott. Handled on the far side by Zawistowski. And in the middle and quick goes Andre Foster. Another long rally won by the Bison.
Yeah, after these long rallies, it's the point is continuously going to the Bison. It's really showing that maybe they're a little bit more conditioned than Emerson here.
Service up from Zawistowski. Rogas goes back. This is for Elliott. Elliott into the block. And another big point. This one from Lance Law. Sophomore out of Taunton, Mass. Gets another big block. And Ben Reed is forced to take another timeout with his team down by 8.
Yeah, both teams are coming off a win. Obviously, both looking to start a 2-game win streak. So I'm not entirely surprised to see head coach Ben Reed calling his team in for a quick timeout. They are down by 8 points, so he does want to get them back on track and in the right mindset to stay in this game and not throw this first set away.
Big task for head coach Ben Reed, who's in his 4th season with this Lions men's volleyball team. He's assisted by Jake Gerard, who's in his 1st. And on the other side, then Bison are led by John Post, who's in his 2nd season, and assisted by Kentaro White. Take another look at that big Wang kill. Chen unable to react. And you see in the middle, going quick and keeping Emerson on the back foot.
Should be exciting to see throughout this game if the Lions can get accustomed to Ray Wang's strength and his quick speed of play. Yeah, as I said, it'll be exciting to see as the game goes on if they can kind of keep up with him and start to read what he's going to do. Maybe help them get back in this game a little bit.
Serving again will be the freshman out of Clifton Park, New York, Matthew Zawistowski. Handled by Duress, but again towards the wall. Gray tries to keep it in, but another reception error keeps Nichols firmly in the lead.
Although that was another reception error, it's nice to see the Lions putting everything they can to go after it, as we saw Parker Gray running himself into the wall there, but at least he was putting the effort in to keep the ball in play.
Rogas has it up. That's for Willinger off the net. Lucky point, but the Lions will take it.
Yeah, they absolutely needed that point. This might be a little bit of a change of momentum for them that they need. They are down by 8 points now, so we'll see where this goes.
Taking a look at Willinger and Duress talking as Parker Gray takes the service on the dive there for the Bison. And a big hit is coming. No, tapped over from Law. Willinger on the dive attempted to stop it, but a smart play there from Lance Law keeps Nichols in firm control.
Yeah, that was a good dive there from Willinger, but it almost looks as though Matt Connolly and Josh Elliott might have mistimed their block on the net a little bit, forcing Sam Willinger to attempt that diving play there.
Service up from Law on the dive there is Duress. Ragas puts it up, and it'll be Willinger, who tries to float it into the corner but can't find the floor. And out of bounds will put Nichols up by 10. Handled by Duress. Ragas will be in the middle, and it'll be Duress again, but way too much from number 12. And this set is quickly coming to pass for the Lions.
Yeah, the Lions really need to find their momentum here. It looks like they're struggling to figure out the best way to score a point on this Nichols team. As we just saw, they attempted the hard kill there, but it was a bit too powerful. And then the play before, Sam Willinger tried to just tap it over gently. That also was unsuccessful for them. So we need to see if the Lions can kind of find some momentum here.
We have some substitutions quickly. Lucas Ragas, Josh Elliott, and Matt Connolly checking out. As checking in are Jackson Gordon, Garrett Sekitz, and Jarek Liu. This service will be from Lance Law coming out of the break. And an error there will keep Emerson alive, still down by 10. And service will go to Jackson Gordon. Service is up, handled there on the back foot by Harasico. And that one handled again by Gordon. It'll be a cross, and Danny Mullen on the attempt. I'm going to say he went around the pole. Point goes to Nichols again.
We see Sam Willinger here pulling his team together. That's good. Good to see from him as he is a leader here. Want to keep his team in the right mindset as the Lions are now down by 11 points.
Service here will be from Jake Harasico. Handled by Willinger on the far side and floated back in the middle for Parker Gray, who goes off Chavez. Way in the corner. Law's able to handle it, and it'll be floated over. This one's for Gray. Gray mistimes it, and it's an easy kill for Andre Foster.
Yeah, as we're noticing about this Nichols team here is that they're a very smart team. The Lions definitely need to clean up their errors a little bit because on almost every error, Nichols has capitalized on it, as we just saw there.
Serving again will be Harasico. And into the net it goes. Emerson still down by 11, but they'll get the serve and try to find some momentum.
Yeah, both teams so far are sitting at 2 service errors apiece. However, the Lions have 6 reception errors where Nichols has none. So we'll see what will happen on the serve here.
Service is up from Danny Mullen. Keohane will put it all the way across for Wang, and a quick point there for the Bison. As Ray Wang picks up another kill. That'll be his 4th.
Yeah, yet again, we'll see on this replay here, Ray Wang just absolutely capitalizing in front of that net there.
Checking into this one, Sammy Saintillis, Jr. out of Plainville, Mass, middle blocker, and a big body in the middle of the floor for the Bison. Alongside Wayne and Keohane, he stands in the front line. As Emerson tried to figure out their lineup. Jarek Liu moving to the front court.
We see where we hear him, at least Matt Connolly trying to hype his team up.
Another service error, this one from Andre Foster. Keeps Emerson alive and keeps them trying to salvage something from this set. On the service this time will be Garrett Sekitz. Freshman right setter out of Los Angeles, California, went to the same high school as his teammate number 19, Parker Gray. Keohane in the middle, and blocked down at the line is Saintillis. It'll be back now, and floated off the block, handled by Sekitz. And here's Willinger. Puts it in the middle. A great spot from Sam Willinger. His team remain in this one, still down by 10, but moving back.
Yeah, that was a very smart play from Sam Willinger. He recognized where the defense was on the court and just put the ball right where they weren't.
Service up from Seconds. Handled on the back by Law. It'll be Ray Wang on the far side. Blocked down. But on the other side of the net, unable to get up and get down was Parker Gray. And Ray Wang will get another kill.
Parker Gray has been very strong playing defense on that net there. Quite a few block solos and a couple block assists for him.
Service will be from Keohane. And some miscommunication there between Jarek Liu and Leon Chen. Causes trouble for the Lions, and Nichols are on set point. Keohane with the service, handled by Liu. Gray's on it, and it'll have to be free-balled over, but way too much there from Jackson Gordon. And that'll end a pretty rough first set for the Lions. They lose 25-12. What do you think they have to do moving forward if they want to right this ship and find some footing in this game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they need to be a bit stronger on defense. As I mentioned before, Parker Gray has been really strong on the front of that net, but they also need to clean up their reception as well. They have 7 reception errors just throughout that set. So we want to see them kind of clean up their act as a whole a little bit.
A tall order for this Lions team, and Ben Reed will get his boys to work. We will see you back in a couple minutes as we take a short break. And we welcome you back to the Bobby Brown and Stephen Plofker Gym. A tough first set for the Lions. They fell 25-12 to the Bison, hitting at just 5% and making 7 reception errors to none for Nichols. A tough first set, and they'll look to correct some of their mistakes as we move forward. Looks like Emerson will return their starting lineup to the floor. Lucas Ragas, Parker Gray, Danny Duress, Josh Elliott, Matt Connolly, and Sam Willinger, while the Bison will come out with Louis Egbuna, Lance Law, Sean Jackson, Kevin Keohane, Oscar Chavez, and Ray Wang. Service for the Lions will be from Lucas Ragas. It's a nice one, handled by Chavez. Keohane in the middle, off Jackson. Parker Gray handles it, but it's in the back court. Diving for it was Duress, but too far for him and unable to get there.
Obviously, this is not the start the Lions wanted, but they can take away some positives from this, just like how not one, not two, but 3 players are hustling to keep the ball in play. That's definitely the mentality that they want to come into this set with.
Service is up. That's handled by Willinger. Ragas is on it. It'll go cross to the side. Willinger from the back puts it in the middle on the dive is Wang. Keohane floats it up. It's easy for Elliott, and he dunks it down. Big point for the Lions and a big smart play there from Josh Elliott.
And we'll see here again, Josh Elliott just softly touching the ball over the net to get the point for the Lions.
Wang handles it, and this one, big swing there from Law, but able to handle it with the Lions, and it's in the middle. Punching it is Connolly. Some miscommunication and the pass too low. Nichols escaped with an easy point after a great dig on a big kill from Lance Law. On the service here is Nicholas Bosco, freshman out of Albany, New York. Saw a little bit of action in the first set. And a little bit earlier here, Ragas goes all the way across. This is for Duress. Duress with some power. They call it in. Emerson pick up their second point on a close call.
Yeah, that was definitely a close call, but good for their momentum and their energy that they did get this point.
See Duress up there. It goes off the block as well, so it wouldn't have mattered. This service is up, handled by Chavez. It's floating in the middle. Bosco goes across, floated into the block, and a big block there from Willinger and Gray. Keeps Nick Vermette from making anything happen.
Willinger and Gray have been a very strong duo on the net front. I can't tell you how many times I probably said either of their names this game so far, and we've only played one set. So it'll be exciting to see how they fare for the rest of this game.
Service from Connolly goes off the net, sliding in with Chavez. It'll go back here and float it over the blockers inbounds. Smart play there. Number 2, Louis Egbuna. We're all even at 3. Checking out is Egbuna as he is replaced by Colin Hunter. Service from Hunter. Handled by Elliott, and Ragas goes back for Willinger. Willinger out of bounds, unable to get it done. Sam Willinger gives Nichols their lead in this set, 4-3.
Yeah, Colin Hunter will take that serve again. He does have 7 service aces on the season so far for Nichols, so it'll be interesting to watch and see if he can convert any more of those.
Willinger handles it. Gray into the block, handled by Ragas, but unable to corral it. On the far side was Leon Chen. Into the wall it goes, and Nichols have opened up their first run. 2 straight points, and back to serve again is Colin Hunter. That's handled by Willinger again. Ragas moving around. Duress is on it. Goes into the block, handled by Elliott. Ragas goes across. This for Willinger. Willinger goes into the block again. Ragas is on it. Parker Gray goes quick and picks up the point. Smart play, 2 straight blocks from this Nichols front line. But Parker Gray with a little bit of smarts and some quick reactions, able to knock it down hard. Take another look there. Willinger is up, handled there. Bosco goes all the way across. Wang just has to float it, handled by Duress. Ragas will go back. This is for Willinger. And between Chavez and Colin Hunter, Sam Willinger with a big kill has Emerson even at 5.
Yeah, as you just mentioned, that was extremely great placement from Sam Willinger, placing it in between the 2 defenders from Nichols, as we see right there, just right smack in the middle.
Service handled by Chavez. Bosco goes back and a big kill. Sails out of bounds, and Emerson will take that point. Unlucky there is Nick Vermette. He's had a tough game and a tough set. Another service is up, handled by Chavez. Bosco goes across. This is Wang into the block. Blocked down by Parker Gray. Emerson up by 2. Huge play there from the freshman.
Yeah, that's a great play from Parker Gray yet again. Perfect timing on the block, on the jump, and ends up getting a point out of it, which we really love to see from a freshman.
Back pass there from Bosco. And able to get that one down is Vermette. Nichols with their first point after a 4-point Emerson run. Back to serve will be Ethan Powers, freshman out of East Hampton, Connecticut. Floats it over nice and soft. Willinger's on it. Ragas floats it in the middle. Parker Gray into the hands and send way over. Chen puts it in the middle. Ragas once again for Gray. Goes off the block and over the head of Nicholas Bosco. Emerson lead by 2.
Again, yeah, we're seeing a great showing from Parker Gray, really stepping up as a leader, offense and defense, making blocks and putting away kills and points. He has 3.5 points on this game so far.
Chavez, it'll go all the way across just for Wang. Wang off the block and out of bounds. Point will go to the Bison. And they're gonna give it to Emerson. I believe they're saying it didn't go off a blocker and went just out of bounds off the hand of Wang. Emerson leading 9-6 instead of 8-7.
Yeah, Nichols, coaching staff and players are not happy about that last call, so we will see how they fare, let their emotions get to them.
Teres unable to capitalize, sends that right into the net, and Nichols remain within 2. Checking in Keohane and Lance Law. Keohane will be on the service, replacing Bosco and Nick Vermette. And that Keohane service goes right into the middle of the net. Parker Gray will take the service for the Lions. And a reception error there. Tough from Sean Jackson. Sophomore out of Richmond, Rhode Island. Couldn't handle that one. And Emerson will take a free point.
Yeah, Emerson will take all the points they can get in this set. They're up by 4 right now, so it's good for them.
Cross to Law, handled by Duress. In the middle, it's Ragas moving around Connolly. Elliott will have to float it from the back, handled easily by the Bison. Back to Law it goes, and it's floated. They call it out. Point Emerson after a tough and smart play from Lance Law. Just a fraction off the inbounds line. Service from Gray is up again. That's handled. Keohane will float it in the middle. And a big kill there comes from number 9, Sean Jackson.
Yeah, although the Lions have been playing some strong defense, it looks like there might have been a little bit of mistiming on that net front present there on that last play.
On the service will be the dangerous man, Ray Wang. Picked up several aces in that first set. That one will fly out of bounds. Emerson catch a break on the service error. And they lead by 5 points, 13-8. That service handled by Chavez, but too much miscommunication between Chavez and Igbuna. As Emerson now lead by 6, trying to take command of the second set.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the bit of miscommunication for Nichols because in the warm-ups they were all communicating so effectively with each other.
Big dig there by Parker Gray on a Lance Law kill as Elliott floats it over the blockers. On the dive it was handled, repicked by Igbuna, but Emerson pick up a huge point on a tough play from number 9, Josh Elliott.
Yeah, again, great play there from Josh Elliott. As I mentioned before, this Lions team is very, very smart when it comes to getting the point. They know when to kill it and when to just gently place it over.
Service is up from Ragas, handled by Chavez. Keohane is going to go all the way across and float at the line, blocked by Willinger. Chavez will handle it. Wang goes from the back and into the net. Big block by Sam Willinger leads to another Emerson point. They lead by 8, and that'll force a timeout from head coach John Post.
And we see the Lions have a bit of energy back in them now, and they're chanting over there in their huddle. As Nichols, on the other hand, very serious, focusing on what they're going to do on this next play.
It's a quiet evening here in the Bobby Brown and Stephen Plofker gym, but that means nothing to this Lions team. They'll keep themselves energized if that's what they need to do. Take another look here. Ball set up, Gray dunking it down in the middle, right in front of Colin Hunter. Blocked at the line there. A great set from Parker Gray.
Yeah, Parker Gray has honestly been quite the storyline for the Lions a bit. As I mentioned earlier, very, very strong on offense and defense. He doesn't back down when he has to go up for a block on the net, and he's very smart when it comes to the attack as well.
We're going to take another look. Ray Wang reacting to that call being out of bounds and not off the hand of the blocker. Confused, stunned even. As Emerson have taken control of this second set, they lead 16-8.
Reception errors definitely were a key factor in the last set. Emerson has 7 total, and Nichols actually got their first 2 during this set, so we'll see if that's still a common theme throughout the game.
Ragas on the service. Lance Law on the kill to the right of Lucas Ragas, and out of the timeout, Nichols stops the run. Down by 7, and on the service will be Sean Jackson. Big left hand there from number 3. As this service is up, handled there by Willinger. It'll go back to him. He goes off the block, and Keohane can't react. Emerson keep that lead. Some strong play from the captain.
Yeah, that's a great play to see from Sam Willinger. As you mentioned, he is the captain, and actions do speak louder than words, and his actions are certainly helping the team.
Poor service there from Elliott, as the error will give Nichols some life. 17-10. And Lance Law on the service.
Yeah, Nichols have a pretty dangerous duo out there right now. Ray Wang and Lance Law both out on the court together. In the previous game, they both posted a double-double.
On the dive there was Wang. A good kill from Willinger. A big one there, blocked but out of bounds. And a big hit from Colin Hunter keeps Nichols down by 6. Lance Law will serve once again. Put that powerful left hand to work, but he floats it into the top of the net. Emerson catch a break on the service and take it away.
Yeah, that's a bit surprising to see Lance Law hit that serve into the net. He has 18 service aces on the season for Nichols, one of the most, only behind Ray Wang with 22.
Surprised to see some of their big hitters opt for the float shot, especially in situations like that, giving Emerson some easier points and letting him catch a break. Matt Connolly will be on the service here. Junior out of Haverhill, Mass, handled by Chavez. And Basco goes across. This one's hit into the hands of Elliott. Ragas goes across. And Duress floats it over, handled by Basco. Chavez will have to float it up. It'll be Wang from the backcourt. Goes way to the back. Ragas on it. This one's for Willinger. Floated off the line and out of bounds. Unlucky on the call. Nichols take that point away after a long and hard-fought rally.
Yeah, that's an unlucky call for the Lions, but still a great effort from them as a team, and that's the type of effort we want to continue to see from Emerson throughout this game.
It'll be Hunter on the serve. Handled by Elliott in the middle. Ragas goes into the middle for Gray. Gray with some power. Picks up the kill, and Parker Gray keeps a strong set going. Emerson leading by 7 as we take another look, and a shout out to the uncle of Parker Gray tuning in. Love to hear it when we get viewers on this broadcast, and love to be able to put this content out for you guys to watch. So thank you for tuning in. Bosco goes in the middle, unable to handle it there. Number 15, Ethan Powers. Emerson lead by 8. 5 points away from taking this second set.
Yeah, head coach John Post not happy about that last play there. Taking a moment back to talk with his team really quickly.
That service mishit by Willinger, and a free point will go to Nichols as Ben Reed's trying to talk some sense into him alongside assistant Jake Gerard. Service from Powers, handled by Duress. Ragas goes back. This one's for Willinger. Willinger into the net from the backcourt. He was sliding out of the play, had to try and make something happen and was unable to do so. As Nichols slowly closing this gap.
Yeah, despite that error, though, the Lions are still leading by 6. So they're going to try and close it out here.
Bit of luck there for Powers. Went into the top of the net and unable to react was Ragas. Nichols within 5.
Yeah, we want to see the Lions try and stay on their feet a little bit more and not check out like we saw there. We saw a glimpse of them checking out for a second with that last point there for Nichols.
It's Gray in the middle. Was off the block, and they're going to say went into the net. 4 hits. Nichols within 4, mounting a solid rally, trying to make some noise in this second set. So we take another look at Gray. Just went into the top of the net. Duress on the rebound, trying to keep it alive, but 4 hits will force a timeout from Ben Reed. See him communicating with Gray there, and Ragas trying to get some chemistry in with the two of them. Ragas, the lone senior on this Emerson lineup, and Parker Gray has been a showing freshman this year, as this team looks to replace some of the production that they lost when Mark Bierkowski graduated. 1,067 kills over the course of his career.
Yeah, that's quite an impressive feat to accomplish. So the Lions definitely did lose a bit of talent with last year's graduating class. But as we've seen with Parker Gray so far, he's not letting the fact that he's a freshman deter him from having any success with this team. In this game alone, he has 2 assists and 1 service ace. So he's definitely a team player, which is good for this Lions team here.
Move out of this timeout despite being down by 4. Nichols with some energy here. Mounted a solid run on some Ethan Powers services. And Emerson coming out of this timeout, trying to find some energy and trying to find a way to put this one into the books and even this up at 1-1.
The Lions definitely have the talent on the court right now to close out this set. So it'll be interesting to see if they can do that.
Service from Powers, handled by Willinger. Ragas goes across. That's in the middle for Gray. They're going to call it not off the block too much from Gray, and Nichols within 3. Surface again here from Powers. Too much, way too much, as that one just floated out of bounds. Emerson with the free point to stop that rally. Still lead by 4 and are 4 points away from taking this set. Duress floats it. Handled there. Bosco set it all the way across for Wang. Wang into the net. And that point will go to Emerson, leading 22-17 here.
Yeah, we've been seeing some very smart play from the Lions, as we see here, going up for the block, putting just enough pressure on Ray Wang to force him to play it into the net.
Chavez here. Bosco will go back. A big hit there, handled by Duress off the big right hand of Vermette. And this one is Elliott, goes across court. No reaction, some miscommunication between Wang and Chavez. Emerson 2 points away from taking the second set.
Not only was there miscommunication from Nichols there, but that was great placement from Josh Elliott, putting it right in between the Nichols defense.
This one's Wang again. And that's out of bounds. Too much from the big man. And Emerson are on set point. Wang with 5 kills today, but he's got 8 errors on top of that. It's been a tough day for him, and that's mishandled. Double touch there from Colin Hunter will give Emerson the second set. They even it up in a strong showing. What do you think changed between the 2 sets?
I think definitely the mentality of the Emerson team. They came out looking a bit more composed. They seemed like their heads were on right, and they definitely showed that. Especially Parker Gray and Sam Willinger stepping up yet again to help keep this Lions team in the game.
Emerson lose the first set, 25-12, win the second, 25-17. We're even at 1 here in Boston, Massachusetts, and we will catch you after the break for the third and at least 4th sets. And we welcome you back for this third set, even at 1 apiece. Emerson, a strong showing in the second set after some domination by the Bison in the first. It'll be important to see how this game goes. Emerson not with a lot of squad depth, so we'll see if some fatigue sets in as we move into the later sets. On it for the Bison is 10, Colin Hunter. Handled by Duress. Ragas moving backwards. Connolly has to improvise in the middle and causes some trouble after he floated over by Wang. Parker Gray gets it to Ragas. He'll go all the way across. Left-handed Sam Willinger. Handled by Chavez. Keohane goes all the way across. This is for Wang. Wang floats it. Connolly handles. Willinger into the block, and a big block there from Kevin Keohane has the first point to the Bison.
Yeah, these strong blocks on the net have been a bit of a common theme throughout this game, as we've seen them go both ways. The Lions blocking Nichols, or Nichols blocking Emerson, as we just saw there.
A big first point and a big momentum shift as we are on even ground now. Ragas will set it over for Willinger. Willinger down in front of Law. He slides to his backside, and Willinger picks up a big kill.
Yeah, that was a much-needed kill for the Lions. Now the scoreline is even at 1, which is good because earlier in the first set we saw the Lions fall behind Nichols very early.
Chavez handles the service. That's across for Wang. The block goes all the way across the net. Testament to the power from the right hand of Ray Wang. And Nichols lead it 2-1. On the service will be Ethan Powers. Had a great service run in the second set. And that one off the net again, diving twice and free-balled over by Parker Gray. Emerson still alive. Keohane's going to go all the way across for Wang. Wang into the hands and floated over. Will be another opportunity, Keohane. And on the dive, Elliott unable to handle it. Sean Jackson with the kill as the Bison kept Emerson on the back foot from the start.
But still, great team play we see here. Everyone diving on the ground just to keep the ball in play, even though it did end up in a point against Emerson.
Ragas handles it, and that's going to be 4 hits. Nichols with another point. I'll say there was no touch from the Bison. And Emerson having a tough start to this third set. Serving again is Powers. Handled by Connolly. Ragas and Gray collide. And the point on the double touch goes to the Bison, forcing a timeout from Ben Reed.
Yeah, we saw a little collision there. Just goes to show the Lions need to keep their communication up. As I mentioned, I noticed in warm-ups they were communicating so effectively with each other. But then again, the pressures of the game do tend to get to you. However, we want to see if they can keep their composure throughout the rest of the set and the entire match.
See Emerson still trying to work a few kinks out between some new players and some old players. They begin their conference season on Monday when they travel to Johnson in Wales for a 7 o'clock game. So you see Law falling on his backside for the lone Emerson point of this set.
Yeah, this is a good match for the Lions to play before they start conference play, because Nichols is a strong team and it's a good test for them to see where they're at by the time they hit GNAC play.
Out of the timeout, you see Willinger there trying to corral his team, trying to find some momentum, as the service will be with Ethan Powers once again. Freshman out of East Hampton, Connecticut, floats it over, handled by Duress. Ragas goes into the middle for Connolly. Connolly off the block, unable to stop it with Sean Jackson, and Emerson pick up their second point. Connolly, a big man, will take his serve. He's got his ritualistic walk-up, but it won't work there, as that flies well out of bounds, and Nichols pick up their 6th point.
Yeah, we want to try and see the Lions maybe lock in a little bit more. Nichols does have a 4-point lead now, and we don't want to see them run away with the lead as they did in that first set. The Lions had a bit of a tough time chipping away at the lead.
You see Ragas with a big play there, and on the dive, Keohane unable to corral it, smacked it right into Parker Gray. Point will go to Emerson. Willinger serves that one up. Handled by Chavez. Keohane goes back. That's for Wang. Wang out of bounds. Point Emerson. Score is 6-4, and they're back in this one. Take another look. Just gliding right. Chen on the line. Saw it fly out of bounds. Kept his team in this one as Willinger takes the serve. It's handled by the Bison. Keohane goes across. That's for Law. Law with the left hand in front of Elliott. And the Bison show their strength and pick up another point.
Yeah, unfortunately, Josh Elliott was just unable to get down to the ground quick enough. We see him go for it, but again, he was just a little bit too slow there.
Substitution is checking out his Hunter, and checking in is Harasiko. As that flies out of bounds, and the service error keeps Emerson within 2. Taking over will be Danny Duress, sophomore outside hitter out of Long Island, New York. Handled there by Harasiko. It's behind Law and blocked at the line, but he handles it on the rebound. It's all the way up, free-balled over by Chavez. Willinger's on it. Ragas sets it in the middle. Parker Gray off the net in front of Wang, and Emerson are within 1.
Again, Parker Gray very, very strong in this game, as we're going to see him here kill this last play.
Off the top of the net and to the side of Sean Jackson. As it's going to be floated over again. Willinger handles it. Ragas in the middle. Parker Gray again. That one in front of Chavez, and we're evened up at 7.
Now we can see and hear a little bit of energy back in the Lions bench now that the game is tied up. Good momentum for the Lions.
Service here from Duress. It's handled by Harasiko. Keohane goes back. This for Law. Floats it over. Ragas handles it. Another opportunity. That one handled by Willinger, but short in front of Gray. A smart and quick play from the Bison. Let them pick up their 8-7 lead.
Yeah, these quick little plays here seem to be exactly what the Bison are capitalizing on. As we saw, Sam Willinger dove for that last play there. Couldn't get a hand on it, unfortunately, giving Nichols the point.
The lead after a strong Emerson run. Wistowski goes off the top of the net. Ragas tries to go quick, and that one will float out of bounds. Point to the Bison. Ragas trying to make a smart play, but the Bison were prepared, and a block at the line will keep him in this one. So Wistowski again with the left hand. Ragas in the middle for Gray. That one into the corner. And they'll call it out of bounds. Tough for the Lions.
Yeah, Parker Gray was not happy about that call there. He was going, no, 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 when they called it out, but rules are rules.
This is a non-conference matchup, so the sideline officials are not sent from the conference, but are rather Emerson students and Emerson employees. So Wistowski once again, handled by Willinger, and unable to get there was Ragas. That is a tough play. Puts Nichols up by 4 as this one's starting to slip away, and it'll force another timeout from Ben Reed.
Yeah, that was a really strong serve and good placement from Wistowski there. As we saw, played it to Sam Willinger, but in a position where he couldn't get a good a surface on the ball to keep it in play.
The errors again compiling. Emerson kept it clean in the second set, but with 9 here total, we'll have to figure something out moving forward if they want to stay in this set and take home a victory against the team that embarrassed them 3-0 earlier in the season. Showcase that they've been working and they've been figuring out how to work with each other. As you see that law kill fall in front of Elliott.
Yeah, this is definitely a redemption match for the Lions. They have a chance to prove themselves to the Bison here and show that they have improved since their first meetup this season. But what has been working for the Lions is especially on defense. As we know, Ray Wang is very strong. He has 5 kills on the game so far. However, he does have 8 errors, and that strong net presence on defense from Parker Gray as well as Sam Willinger and a few others really puts the pressure on Nichols, forcing them to make those errors.
It's been a 2-pronged attack. 18 total attempts from Parker Gray and 16 from Sam Willinger, shooting 11 and 6% respectively. Service will again be Wistowski. And it is up, handled by Willinger. Ragas with ease goes to Parker Gray. Floated into the line and handled off the block. It's up from duress. Willinger will have a shot and trying to find the corner, but unable to do so. Sam Willinger gets another point to the Bison, who lead by 5.
Yeah, a bit too strong on the ball over from Willinger, but at least we see him trying to get these points and to keep his team in the game.
That one handled by duress. Ragas trying to figure out something to do with it and float it back to his team. And Nichols beginning to really turn this into a showcase. As they're capitalizing on every Emerson error. Enzo Wistowski is keeping this service run going. It's handled by Gray. Ragas in the middle for Gray again. Gray with some power. Wang can't do anything with that.
Yeah, that play there was absolutely powerful from Parker Gray. Nichols could not do anything about it. We see them trying, but again, just too much power there from Parker Gray.
Able to just tee it up and send it through the floor. Gray takes this one, Wang will handle it. Go all the way across on the kill there. Handled by duress on the slide from Horsico. And Elliott will have a shot, floats it in the corner. Great spot from Josh Elliott. Keeps Emerson in this one and gives him a little bit of momentum as Gray will go back to serve again.
Yeah, Nick, you said it best. That was an absolutely great placement to keep Emerson still in this game from Josh Elliott.
Horsico handles the service. It'll be Lance Law on the kill. And to the right of Sam Willinger. Reactions were there, but unable to get his arm in place.
Yeah, what I've been noticing about both these teams is that they have strong placement on the attack. As we just saw there, Sam Willinger did have the right reaction, but unfortunately, he could not get to the location of the ball.
Willinger from the backcourt, handled by Wang. Keohane will go all the way across. This for Horsico, blocked at the line. Chavez will handle it, but collides there with Ethan Powers. And a block there from Matt Connolly, and will put Emerson within 4. See him and Ragas up, goes off the left hand of Connolly, and Chavez on the reaction, unable to get it done. See the big celebration there from number 34. Ragas on the service. That's handled, and Keohane will go back. This for Lance Law with some power. Handled by Ragas, off the ceiling, Willinger. And it'll be teed up by Connolly. Tries to float it into the corner. And they'll say no touch off of Wang. Point goes to the Bison.
Yeah, the Bison are leading by 5 now, so they're starting to pull this lead away a little bit more. We do want to see the Lions work on their digs. They only have 18 total digs this game, so we want to see them keep the ball in play and try to get some more points.
On the sideline, talking to Horsico is the coach, as Hunter serves it up, and that's way out of bounds. The whole team right off the touch knew it, and a service error keeps Emerson within 4 as we move towards the middle of this set. Elliott serves it. That's handled there. Keohane will go all the way across. This is for Wang. Wang tries to find a spot. On the dive is Gray. Ragas, it'll be from the back, and it'll be Elliott. Handled by Law. Keohane tries to go quick, and Parker Gray made an attempt. Elliott was on the dive as well, but the slight touch from Parker Gray makes it too far away from Elliott, and Nichols lead by 5.
Yeah, there's a little bit of miscommunication between Parker Gray and Josh Elliott. Since Josh Elliott is actually was behind Gray on that play, it would have been nice to see him call him off, so he could have gotten that as Elliott was diving, or let Parker Gray get it himself.
Tough play for the Lions as Greichen serves it off the net. He just checked in. Ragas back for Willinger. Willinger into the hands there of Hunter. It'll be all the way back, and it'll be Law off the net and handled by Ragas. Parker Gray sets it up. That's Connolly off the block. Parker Gray and out of bounds off the reaction dig from Parker Gray. Tough rally for the Lions. They stayed in it. They stayed strong, but the Bison just imposing their will and keeping this a decent deficit. Too much there from Greichen. His left hand floats it over, and the sophomore out of Charleston, Rhode Island, looks like he's going to take another seat on the bench as Powers checks back in.
And the Lions are still within 5. Emerson 12, Nichols 17, as we see Matt Connolly going to take the serve for Emerson.
Floated from Connolly and out of bounds. 2 straight errors from number 34 as Leon Channel swapped for him. moving towards the latter part of this set. And Emerson running out of time to find their momentum and find their rhythm. Ragas puts it up. It's in the ceiling, and Law finds a corner. The whole team compressed to one side, and Law had a whole lot of floor to find.
Yeah, the Lions were definitely looked a little bit unorganized. As you mentioned, they all kind of flocked towards the top left corner of the court, leaving the entire other side open.
There's an error from Keohane. And we'll swap mistakes as Emerson are still within 6. Sam Willinger back to serve. Floated there, handled by Hunter. Keohane across for Law. Floated on the dive is Willinger. Ragas again off the ceiling, and it'll be free balled over by Elliott, handled by Chavez. Keohane in the middle and in the corner. Big kill there from number 9, Sean Jackson, and the sophomore middle blocker puts his team up by 7.
Yeah, very strong from Sean Jackson. Sean Jackson there. He has 4 total points on this game so far, as Nichols are within 5 from winning the set.
Mixing up their attack, the first one coming from Law, and then quick with Sean Jackson. That service is handled nicely by Duress. Parker Gray gets up, but no touch as it's out of bounds. Point Nichols, they lead by 8. And serving again is Wang. Always tough to handle. Nice on the last one by Duress. We'll see how it goes here. Sliding there is Willinger. Ragas, and he looks like he slipped on his own foot and sent that towards the stands. Willinger a little slow to get up as well. He seems okay.
Yeah, I think the reason the Lions are having a lot of difficulty controlling these services from Ray Wang is because his services have a little bit of spin on them. I'm not sure if our cameras are capturing it, but I can see it. When the Lions go to create a surface for the ball, the spin is just causing it to go into a completely different direction.
They're saying that Emerson was lined up wrong, so on this service, point goes to Nichols. The whole team's stunned, even Coach Reed.
Yeah, Coach Reed is definitely not happy about that, as now Nichols are within 3 points from winning the set. Emerson still sitting at 13.
Service from Wang into the net. Lucky break on the error from Ray Wang. Emerson within 8, still alive, but their chances of taking this one getting slimmer and slimmer.
Yes, the chances are getting slimmer, but one thing I've noticed about following this Lions team throughout the season is that they are going to fight until the end of every set and every match. So regardless of the fact that they're at 15 and Nichols is at 22, they're just going to keep on playing until the set is over.
Find their groove, and they've done well. A lift there from the Bison. Gets them the point. That one handled by Harasico. It'll be back across for him. Goes into the block, and Wang on the dive. Floated over easily. Willinger handles. Ragas will go in the middle for Gray. Off the block. Chavez on the slide, unable to get it done. And Emerson are within 6, finding a little bit of momentum with Duress on the service.
And there we go on this last play. We're seeing that fighting spirit of the Lions come out. Parker Gray just getting another point there.
Chavez on the slide. Keohane goes back. This is for Law. Law off the block, and falling back was Willinger, unable to corral it. Tough play there. Ben Reed telling him to slide into the ball rather than moving back. So you see Chavez checking out alongside Sean Jackson. Taking the service will be Zawistowski.
Zawistowski has been very strong on the serve for the Bison. He has 3 service aces in this game alone.
Ragas to Elliott. That one blocked at the line, and it'll be floated over there by Gray. Zawistowski will handle it. Keohane, a little bit of a deke there from, looked like Lance Law. And the point's going to go to Emerson as he flew right into the net and over the top of his teammate. Some "you can't do that" chants are rising from the Emerson lineup and 2 or 3 fans.
I mean, it was a good play from Nichols. That fake there was very smart to implement. Did catch the Lions off guard, and it was successful for Nichols. So
Gray will be on the service. He's had a great second and third sets. This one's across. Lance Law with some power. Duress sliding. Sends it into the chairs. And Nichols are on set point. See Law getting up. Some big swings from that left hand through Elliott, and Duress unable to handle it. A little bit of fatigue looks to set in as Law will take the service. That one handled by Gray was flying out, but it was going right at him. And the reception error will give Nichols the third set. They'll lead it 2-1. Took the first 25-12. Took this one 25-17. What do you think Emerson needs to do if they want to get back into this one and force a fifth set?
Yeah, I feel like I'm talking in patterns in a sense. I think they need to minimize their reception errors yet again. They're sitting at 11 reception errors so far. Nichols only at 3. So that definitely tells a bit of its story in itself, I think. And I think if the Lions can minimize those errors, then they'll have a better chance at forcing a fifth set in this game.
Emerson will look to figure it out on defense as we move into the fourth set. The Bison lead 2-1. Willinger on the floor. Teammates around him. Tough play from him, from a tough competitor as he was on the ground, and opting for the shoe high five is his teammate. Comes up, takes a hand.
I'd high five those shoes too. It looks like they're custom Nikes.
A Lions represent. He's got the gold and purple shoes, the Lions socks, and a major member of Emerson Sports, both volleyball and all the other teams here. Big thanks to Sam Willinger, junior out of Golden Beach, Florida, and one of the most enthusiastic athletes throughout the entire school. Nichols lead it 2-1 as the first service in this fourth set will come from Connolly. Handled by Chavez. Keohane will go across. This is for Wang. Wang off the block and out. Point to the Bison. And a strong first play from the Bison and a strong start from Ray Wang.
Yeah, not surprised there on that start from Ray Wang. He had 7 kills and 10 errors, so he's looking to kind of even that out a little bit, get more kills than errors.
Gray in the middle gets blocked. On the slide was Willinger. It'll be floated over. Another chance for the Lions, but it'll be, they'll have to stop it first. A block, big block here. Parker Gray again, and blocked at the line. That one was from Powers. It'll be Willinger from the back, floated in the middle, on the dive, into the net. Unable to stop it is Keohane, and a big point for the Lions on a strong rally.
Yeah, the lines were definitely successful on that last play there as they were communicating. As there was a little bit of a scrum in the corner with the ball, we saw Sam Willinger telling his teammate to set it for him. Willinger went and spiked it, and the Lions were able to get the point.
Willinger with the service, handled there by Hunter. Keohane will go across. This is for Wang. Wang goes side, but handled by Chen. And trying to go quick was Gray. They call a double touch on him. Point will go to the Bison. Unlucky there for him.
And we'll see that last play there, the double touch on Gray.
Could have gone up with one hand, decided to go with two. Tried to go quick. Unable to get it done. This service handled by Duras. Ragas will put it across. It's from the back, and it's Willinger. Chavez takes it. Keohane goes back. This is for Law. Law with the left hand in front of Leon Chen. And Nichols open up a 2-point lead.
Yeah, Lance Law and Ray Wang, as I mentioned earlier, very strong duo for Nichols to have out there. Last game, they both posted a double-double performance, and this game, they both are close to getting a double-double performance again. Lance Law and Ray Wang both have 10 points each. Lance Law with 8 kills, Ray Wang with 7.
Reception error there on the Colin Hunter serve. He'll pick up an ace, and Nichols will pick up a 3-point lead. Keohane again. Handled there. Ragas will go back, spinning as he took that set, and it bounced there in front of Hunter as the ball floats towards us at the scorer's table, but Emerson within 2. As you take another look at this Willinger kill.
It was great power on the ball over from Willinger.
This one will be back, and it's for Wang again. Willinger able to get in place, but unable to corral it. Too much power from Wang. It's a bit frustrated, a little bit slow to get up. Clutching his right hamstring. You see him unable to corral it and falling down at a slightly awkward angle.
Yeah, he did land on it a bit funny, but it's good to see him that he's still out there with his team.
Emerson catch another break as a service error from Wang on his first attempt. That's the second time he's done that today. Keeping them alive. Ray Wang's service very, very difficult to handle. Keohane puts it in the middle. It'll be free balled over by Wang. Parker Gray moving around. It'll be all the way back, and it'll be Willinger. Floats it over the top. On the dive is Chavez. Law's in the middle. And it's going to be free balled over again. Emerson with another shot. Willinger goes to Ragas. It's floated in the middle, and Gray has to go on the dive. Tough passing there. And some passing mistakes lead to 4 hits and another Nichols point.
Yeah, it also looked as though there was a bit of miscommunication. It looked as though some of the lines were trying to set it up for another player who thought something else might have been happening, as we saw a little bit of mistimed jumps.
Service error there from Powers will give Emerson a free point. They'll take as many of those as they can get. And Powers will check out now for Chavez. Ragas on the service. Floats it, trying to find the corner. Finds the outside of the line official.
Almost hits the line official on that one.
Trading service errors. Nichols still lead by 3. Law will be serving here. He's got some power too, but that's handled by Duras. Ragas will go across for Willinger. Floats it into the blockers. Connolly handles. Willinger goes quick. Wang, it's back. Law on the dive. Chavez tries to free ball it over. But that is the 4th hit. And Emerson, a strong rally to strong play from Willinger, find themselves within 2.
You see that hit from Willinger again. That causes the 4 hits for Nichols, giving the Lions the point.
Bounces off the head of Keohane. A bit lucky there for the Bison as they stay in this one. Emerson still trying to capitalize. It's floated into the net. A poor pass from Lucas Ragas.
Yeah.
And a little bit of luck as that bounced off the head of Kevin Keohane.
Yeah, Kevin Keohane was just in the right place at the right time for that one there. As we saw it hit him in the head, and his teammates were able to control it and keep the play going.
Service here. Egbuna puts it up, handled by Gray. It'll be back, and it'll be Willinger. On the slide is Chavez. Egbuna's moving back. Messing around with a basketball hoop as that's slapped all the way over. Some power from Lance Law. And it'll be Willinger again. That's handled by Chavez. Keohane goes back. It's for Law again. Into the block and onto the floor. Matt Connolly with the block, and Emerson stay in this one after a strong and tough rally from both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. The effort from both teams on this last rally was insane, as we just saw Lancelot slapping the ball all the way back over to the Lions from essentially underneath the basketball hoop.
Extremely tough play, one-handed. And Matt Connolly unable to capitalize on the service. Nichols lead by 9. He'll swap out as Leon Chen checks back in. And back in for the Bison is Ethan Powers. See if any fatigue sets in as we move towards these later sets. Ragas will put it up. This one for Duress. Floated over the top. Handled there by Law. It'll be all the way across for Wang. And goes down. They're going to say it hit the floor. Chen trying to get down in front of it. Elliott didn't even know play stopped. Tried to stay on. And that ball snagged out of the air by Lance Law.
Yeah, I don't think Lance Law really liked that. The service from Josh Elliott after the play had ended. So we'll see if he lets his emotions get to him.
Ragas sets it up. This one's for Gray. Gray into the block. And he's able to corral it. Ragas once again. He goes back. It's behind Willinger. He'll have to float it over softly. Keohane in the middle. Go all the way across for Wang. And off the block of Parker Gray and into the floor. Nichols have opened up a 5-point lead.
Yeah, Ray Wang, again, he's just so unstoppable on the attack. 14 points to his name in this game right now. He's putting on a really strong performance.
11 kills for Wang now as he's finally got that hitting percentage into the positives, hitting at 3% now. 11 kills, 10 errors on 30 attempts. Lance Law right behind him, 9 kills and 2 errors, hitting at 35%, a strong showing from him.
Yeah, as you've been mentioning, Nick, we're going to see if the Lions do end up getting a bit fatigued, as they do have a smaller roster than Nichols. Nichols with 15 players, Emerson with 11. Additionally, the Lions have a really young team this year, as you mentioned at the beginning of the game, Nick. Emerson with only one senior, Lucas Ragas. So it'll be interesting to see if their youth and their small roster can finish out this game and stay in it.
They'll try to keep the intensity up. 220 here in the gym, still mostly empty. Got a couple of stragglers who found their way to the Bobby Brown and Stephen Blocker gym. If you're listening and you're here at Emerson, make your way down. Love to support the team and love to get as much support for them as they can. And keep them in it. They've got a shot here to take down Nichols and grab a little redemption from earlier on. On the service will be Sean Jackson. Floated up and handled there. Ragas will go across. This is for Willinger. Off the block, handled by Keohane. It's floated up, and this is for Wang. A great pass there from Lance Law. Leon Chen will have to set it up. This is for Elliott from the back. And tries to find the line. They'll call it inbounds. Head official calls it out. And that overruling will give the point to the Bison. Tough break for the Lions.
Yeah, we'll see here if it really was. I guess we can't tell from that angle, but it looked as though it might have been just over the line as they did call it out.
Handled there by Duress. It'll be across for Gray. Emerson tried to rebound off the block and way out of bounds. Some power from Parker Gray. Emerson within 5, trying to stay alive in this one. See it there. Hard to tell where the line is. Jackson in the way of our line of view, as well as the net. Definitely a close call and a tough break for this Lions team. Keohane goes across. It's Wang. Goes off the block. Chen sliding backwards, able to get a hand to it, but unable to control it.
Yeah, yet again, Ray Wang is just absolutely unstoppable. Even though the Lions did get the initial block there on him, Sam Willinger just couldn't complete the dive to keep the ball alive.
Checking in and taking this service will be Nicholas Basco. He has been swapped for Keohane. Officials and scorekeepers still trying to figure out exactly what's going on. Right now it's a 13-7 game. Looks like that'll retain the score. And we are back in action. Basco on the service. Right hand and into the net. Checks in and makes an error immediately. Emerson remain within 5. And dropping back to serve for them will be Danny Duress. Handled there. It'll go back. This is for Wang again. Willinger handles it, but is flying over the net and into the wall. Nichols up by 6 on another strong kill from Ray Wang. See, go through the blockers. Willinger able to stop it, but can't direct it where he wanted.
And for the Bison, we just saw Louis Egbuna checking in for Colin Hunter.
Great stop there from Danny Duress. It'll be a tough play now. He'll have to free ball it over. Chavez handles it. Bosco goes back for Lance Law. It drops in front of Duress. Tough break for the Lions. A great handle on a incredible serve from Ray Wang, but nothing doing, and the Lions now down by 7. Feel this one slipping away.
Yeah, we see Danny Duress attempting to get the dig on that last play, but unfortunately he just couldn't convert there.
Elliott handles that one, but sends it into the glass high up in the gym. Another ace for Ray Wang.
Yeah, yet again we're seeing the power that Ray Wang can just put behind his services, and how much trouble it really gives the Lions.
That one handled by Duress perfectly. It'll go back for Gray. Gray off the block. Off the kick there from Lance Law, but it bounced on the ground beforehand. Gray thought play still active. Tried to take another big swing at it, but he already got his point. He'll drop back to serve.
It's good to see he's checked in for the whole game regardless.
Service is up, floated there. Egbuna handles it. Bosco goes into the middle. Powers floats it over the net. Connolly got a touch on it, but nothing doing. This one across for Willinger into the hands of Wang. Egbuna, but too much and quick will be Elliott. Inbounds, point Emerson. Some smart play and some poor reception from the Bison. Keeps Emerson within 6.
Yeah, that was a very smart play from the Lions, and it looked as though Ray Wang thought that one was going out as after the ball went in, he kind of had a little disappointed look on his face, but only at himself.
Lance Law will have to just try and spin shot that across the net. Nothing doing. Emerson within 5 now on 4 hits. And Parker Gray will continue his service run. 3 straight points for the Lions. Egbuna handles it. Bosco goes back. This is for Lance Law, and some power from Lance Law. Kick save from Sam Willinger, but wrong sport for that, and point will go to Nichols. Willinger with no other options opted for the foot, but he could not direct that where he wanted to.
Yeah, even though he couldn't really direct that where he wanted to, he's still making those attempts and showing his team as a leader what they need to do to stay in this game. And to Sam Willinger, that means putting your body on the line and doing everything in your power to keep the ball in play.
And a nice play there as you see Connolly shift to the far side and hit it almost through Ray Wang. He was unable to corral it, and they're within 5. As Wistowski checks out and Powers checks back in. He will now switch to the bench for Chavez. Serving here will be Lucas Ragas. Way too much. And a free point for the Bison, not when they needed it. Another substitution as Keohane is in and Bosco is out. They're moving that starting lineup slowly back into this one. And that is what happens when you have the squad depth that they have. You can slowly move players in and out and keep them fresh as we move towards this 4th and possibly 5th set as Willinger goes off the block on the dive there. And a chance here for Egbuna. Gray handles it. Ragas across. Willinger, another shot, goes off the block, diving. Chavez and Egbuna. Chavez again. Egbuna. And over the net on the block. Great play there from Law, Chavez, and Egbuna, and the kill goes to him. Willinger still on the floor, slow to get up.
Looks to be hurting a little bit with the help of his teammates. He's back on his feet.
You see this kill from Egbuna, goes off the hands of Elliott. Trying to react was Willinger. Couldn't get it done in
Looks
time.
Like he maybe hit his knee into the ground there.
Elliott goes off the block. Handled by Jackson. It'll be back here for Wang. Wang from the backcourt. And a touch of the net, or he was on the line, jumped from the line, and Emerson will take that point.
That's a good set.
Coach Post congratulating the play, saying it was a nice play, but he did make that slight mistake, owning up to it. And Elliott will take the service with his team down by 6. Handled there by Egbuna. He'll get a chance, and the kill goes into Gray and into the bench. Nichols up by 7, moving closer and closer to taking this match.
Yeah, as you've been mentioning a lot, Nick, Nichols has a lot of depth on their team, as we are seeing. Egbuna, who has been coming in throughout the game off the bench, has been a consistent, strong showing for the Bison, as we just saw in that last play.
Here we see Hunter. That's handled by Duress. Ragas goes back. Willinger floats it through the blockers on the dive is Chavez. Keohane goes back. It's Law from the back line, off the block and out of bounds. Nichols lead 21-13. Another big kill from the left hand of Lance Law, that being his 11th this afternoon. Serving again is Hunter. He'll put it up with the right. Handled by Gray. Ragas sets it. This is for Duress. Duress into the block. Handled by Ragas. Second is from Willinger. And Duress has another shot. Floats it into the block again. But they're going to call hands over the net. I believe that's on Keohane. And Emerson will pick up the point. They're within 7, trying to scrounge something out of this set and hopefully force a 5th.
Yeah, they're trying really hard to force this 5th set here. They're slowly chipping away at this 7-point lead. We're going to see Matt Connolly take the serve here, and hopefully he can make something out of it.
Takes his walk up and hits it with some power. Handled by Chavez, though. Keohane goes across. This is for Wang. Wang, handled by Connolly. Great dig there from him. Elliott from the backcourt. Picking it up there was for Matt as it floated into the wall. And a big dig from Matt Connolly.
And he is certainly celebrating, as he should. That dig there is really important for the Lions, and we see Matt Connolly absolutely stoked to make that play for his team.
Connolly not known for his digging, playing that middle blocker role, but switching off of the service, he was able to get the job done, and Emerson are within 6, trying to find a comeback and trying to find some life in this one. Connolly will take it. Wang handles. Keohane was in the middle. Jackson blocked down. Chavez has to put it up. It's a cross for Wang. Blocked by Gray. Handled by Connolly again. Ragas goes off. And it's Duress trying to find the line out of bounds. Point to the Bison. Unlucky there. A great play from the Lions. But Duress a little too much power.
Yeah, that's a common theme we're seeing from the Lions. They're having strong play throughout the game, but they're just a bit too powerful when it comes to get the point.
Unable to finish these rallies off. And that service from Jackson will be handled. Ragas will go across. It's Gray. They go to the freshman, and the freshman delivers, finding a hole. That one between Vermette and Sean Jackson.
Yeah, on that last play there, we saw Danny Duress go up. And he does a fake there, and then Parker Gray is able to come in and just put it away and get the easy point there for the Lions.
Smart play there from Duress to open it up for Gray, and he had a lot of space. That one dunked down. Wang will have a shot. It'll go off the block and float too far between Chen and Elliott.
Yeah, that last play there from Ray Wang really just shows the high caliber player he is. Even though that set from his teammate was a little bit downwards instead of up, he still manages to convert it and get a point for the Bison.
This will be Keohane, handled by Duress. Ragas goes across. This is for Parker Gray. Gray off the block. Elliott tried to corral it, unable to do so. Nichols lead by 8 and are currently on match point. Sammy St. Tillis has checked into this one as well, playing that middle blocker role. Keohane, handled by Elliott. It's floated over. Keohane has a shot. He goes back. This one's for Matt, blocked down at the line. It's all the way across. It's Wang with a block. Went up for a kill. Ended up getting a block, and it'll be floated over by Duress. St. Tillis handles it. Hunter goes to Wang. Wang with the left hand block, but out of bounds off of Gray. And that'll end it. A left-handed kill from Ray Wang. Leads to a tough afternoon for the Lions. They fall 25-16 in the 4th set. Down 25-12 in the first, 25-17 in the second, 25-17 in the third, and finally Emerson loses 25-16. A solid second set, but a tough afternoon. What do you think they can do moving forward into their next match?
Overall, I think this was a good showing from the Lions. I think they really just need to clean up some of the smaller issues and work out the kinks. Like as I mentioned earlier, they're very strong on the rallies and keeping the ball in play, but when it comes to converting that last point, they're either a bit too powerful or not powerful enough. So they really have to find the sweet spot before they hit conference play.
Conference play beginning Monday, and we'll take a look at the play of the game. ECS play of the game, as you see for the Bison, moving back. Lance Law with some power from his left hand sends it all the way across the net. An impressive play with one hand. Emerson would win the rally and ended up salvaging a point from this one. But a great play by Law nonetheless, and a great hustle play from the Bison, who took this one in 4 sets. We will be back in an hour as the Lions take on Northern Vermont Johnson for the second leg of a doubleheader. We will see you in an hour for ECS and Jenna Case. I am Nick Gemma. We will see you soon.